Hi, I'm Michael William Denny of ThunderShamanism.com, ThunderWizard.com, and AskTheShaman.com. And today we're going to talk more about the book Shamanism for White People, Reclaiming Our Animist Heritage. And today we're going to be talking about some core practices of the pre-Christian Indo-European people. And the point of this installment is to show that the majority of the neo-shamanic practices, the Native American shamanic practices, that so-called Native American shamanic practices that are being taught, actually are from Europe. And part of the reason why Native Americans are getting bent out of shape about, white people practicing, fake plastic shaman Native American practices is because they're doing things that they don't do. Because, again, every Native American tribe is going to be different. As it turns out, if you look at what neo-shamanic practitioners do, the things that they value, the things that they look at, you can find exact replicas of that in pre-Christian European tribal shamanic heritage. In fact, it works better if you just go back to the European source instead of trying to pretend you're something else. So we're going to go over some of the specifics and I'll talk about that. So first let's talk about what it is that neo-shamanic practitioners focus on, and then I'm going to show you how that's actually part of your European shamanic heritage. So we're just going to go off the list here. We have the Earth Mother. It's usually the first thing people connect to is Mother Earth. You have the Sky Father. You have the World Tree. Very interesting, very deep concept. You have a Thunder God. There's all kinds of connections to thunder and weather, but you have the Thunder God. Ancestor worship, very important. And then you have working with earth spirits. And then you have animal spirits and animal totems. This is something that's very popular in neo-shamanism. Our ancestors did it. You have things like fetch spirits and animal spirits. We have shape-shifting. Our ancestors practiced shape-shifting. That's where we get the word berserker from. Berserker means bear skirt or bear shirt. Berserk. And somebody who wore a bear shirt was actually shape-shifting and channeling the power of the bear in battle. That's why they're undefeatable. You have shamanic journeying. Now, shamanic journeying is something that's very connected to ancient spiritual practices, to anybody across the planet. Our ancestors did that too. They have a very deep tradition when it comes to shamanic journeying. Medicine wheels. Now, this is something that people think is exclusive to Native American shamanism, but the truth is that our ancestors did it too. What do you think Stonehenge is? It's a giant medicine wheel. You have stone circles all over Europe. These were practiced not only by the Celts but also by the Germanic tribes, and they were ways to not only connect to the 8 directions, to the 9 worlds of the world tree. It was also ways to summon the gods. It was a way to connect with the ancestors. In fact, if you there have been excavations done at Stonehenge, and they found that underneath those giant stone slabs are the ashes of the ancestors. So when an ancestor of importance or power dies, they put a stone on top of it. So when you're in the stone circle, you're actually you're gaining the power of the ancestors. And then vision quest. We think that that's a Native American thing. Our ancestors did it too. It was called sitting out. And just like in the Native American practice, when a young man was, before he could really become a warrior, he had to go out into the wilderness, or there was some other practice where, his soul would kind of be separated from his body and he'd have a vision. Same thing with our ancestors. It was called sitting out. They'd go and sit out into the wilderness until they saw a sign or a spirit talk to them, or they had a dream. They would sometimes fast. It was the same thing. The point is that the practice of what we call shamanism, that practice is something that is everybody's birthright. Doesn't matter what your background is. And I don't care what tradition you want to train from to get it. But there is benefit in learning the practices of your ancestors, specifically for white people, not only for our own fulfillment, but because of all the damage that's being done by appropriating without permission. That's very important, without permission. Appropriating traditions from other cultures without permission. You know, and this is, you know, this, let's just take the word shaman, for example. Technically speaking, nobody can call themselves a shaman. And that's because shaman is a Siberian word. It comes from the Tengarist religion. And shaman means priest. So in Siberia, a shaman is a priest of that religion. Now, the Tengarist religion is what we would call an animist religion, which means that they believe in the connection of all life, that everything has a spirit, that we can communicate with everything, communicate with the ancestors, with the gods, with the forces of nature. Everything can be communicated with. This is animism. Tengarist is an animist religion, and way back in the 1700s, Europeans forgot that they had this, and so they saw these Siberians do this thing, and they called it shamanism, and every time they went around the world, they'd see other people doing it, practicing animism. They go, oh, that guy's shamanic, or they have their form of shamanism. So that's where the word comes from. It really just means animism. And this is connected to everybody. So the reason why it's harmful is if you're running around trying to be somebody else without permission or without understanding, you're causing yourself damage, and of course it's very offensive to them because you're making assumptions about their religion when you know nothing about it. And anyway, we could go on and on and on and on and on, but the point is that all of these practices can be learned, and you can do it from within your own understanding and within your own spiritual, cultural, ethnic background. If you choose, you can. The reason why that's important is because then you don't have to go through the mental gymnastics of trying to tell yourself, you know I'm not Native American, but I want to learn their stuff, but I am, and you get this schism within yourself. Just be yourself. I'm a white guy. You know, I have nothing, in fact, I really appreciate other cultures and traditions, and I practice and I learn from them. But I also get tremendous satisfaction out of practicing the practices of my European ancestors. It gives me a lot of personal fulfillment. It makes the ancestors happy. It makes the ancestors of other practices happy, because whenever you practice with the ancestors, all the ancestors get happy. You know, that way I can be my own, follow my own tradition without having to go and pretend I'm somebody else. You don't have that white guilt, you know, that you're dealing with, yeah, but I'm training with a Native American, but my ancestors killed his ancestors and stole his land, but you know, you don't have to deal with all that. You can just be yourself. So again, anyway, I'm sure this is going to stimulate a lot of reactions from a lot of people, so I could go on, but I won't. If you want more information, you can click on the link below and get the book Shamanism for White People. You can also click on the link Thunder Shamanism or thunderwizard.com. You can see all the stuff I do, see all of my other books and DVDs. You can also click on the link asktheshaman.com, and then you can talk to me directly. You can either get personal rune reading or personal instruction, or if you have any other questions. Also, if you want to support this channel so I can keep making these videos, click on support this channel. Thank you, and I look forward to the next installment.